Final report of the commercial starship Nostromo. Third officer reporting. The other members of the crew: Kane, Lambert, Parker, Brett, Ash, and Captain Dallas are dead. Cargo and ship destroyed. I should reach the frontier in about 6 weeks. With a little luck, the network will pick me up. This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo. Signing off.
Alien, the classic 1979 science fiction horror film that kicked off a whole new era. If you'd like to look at the development of the film, my 4-part series, Perfect Organism, is linked in the description. We'll focus mostly on the film itself here. The film opens with the title sequence that was actually inspired from the poster, believe it or not, slowly coming into shape as the credits are revealed, over which plays Jerry Goldsmith's sphincter-tightening music that either uses or is combined with various sound effects. It's almost indescribable. It's unbalancing and off-putting, but not in a bad way. There's no dissonance at work. It doesn't go for cheap blasts to startle you. It just works to unsettle you from the base of the spine up. Ironically, Jerry Goldsmith wasn't too happy with doing this one, which is a shame because it really is magnificent. We discover the Nostromo, its name taken from a Joseph Conrad novel, which continues this horror tone because of its shape. Kind of like if a Star Destroyer knocked up Dracula's castle. It's evocative of prior horror elements, the seeming abandoned Gothic locale, a point backed up as we travel the corridors of the Nostromo. Everywhere we see evidence of humanity except the humans themselves, and we are again unsettled. And as the computer lights up to display numerical data, an empty helmet is all that there is to observe, like a great clock, still ticking on long after the one who wound it has turned to dust. And we're left to wonder at this absence of life. It's the Marie Celeste in space. But life soon returns. The 7 people who make up the crew are awakened from their hypersleep. Had it worked out, they would have emerged naked, further emphasizing that this was symbolic of birth, with the computer appropriately named Mother bringing them back into the world, transforming the ship back into just another place of human habitation. The crew enjoys some breakfast after their long sleep, some shaking it off more than others.
Yeah, I feel dead. Anybody ever tell you look dead, man?
I'll give you a good look later and you can compare, okay? As discussed in the look on the background of the film, the Nostromo was designed by Ron Cobb, who approached it as an industrial engineering project rather than as making a science fiction vehicle. The goal was to go for realism, to give the ship the sense that it is something built by humans to do a specific job. The upper area here is brightly lit and finished, while the areas where the dirty business of running things is handled is stripped of all the niceties and composed of pipes and accesses and the general bleakness familiar to anyone who's had to work in a sub-basement or the like. By making the ship look like a real human place, it avoids a schism between the characters and the audience, but rather allows for the suggestion that this is a human habitat, and thus a peril is something that can come to any human habitat. Likewise, the crew is identifiable because, despite working on a spaceship, they look like everyday people doing everyday stuff. It's just that their everyday stuff involves checking a computer for navigational information, rather than checking one for a collation of part inventories, or, even more likely, playing solitaire. The Nostromo is a commercial towing vessel, having collected this huge refinery thing full of mind stuff. The crew were expecting to awaken near Earth, but instead they're not. It's because they picked up a distress signal. But as Parker notes, they're not a rescue ship. They're, well, just a bunch of assholes trying to get home and collect their salaries. But their contact has the ET Up Yours rider. If you don't check out possibly intelligent signals that could confirm signs of intelligent life, you forfeit all your money and you have to go into stasis for 3 million years. So they grudgingly go to check this out, detaching from their portable refinery to land on the planet. Again, to maintain that level of realism, The overlapping dialogue blends together like you were listening in on air traffic control, assuming you were really bored and thought that was a good idea. But it makes one point clear. These people are professionals. Congratulations, everybody. Best landing we've had yet. While they work to repair the damage from their successful landing, the captain, Dallas, his first officer, Kane, and the navigator, Lambert, head out to go investigate the source. While that's going on, Parker and Brett have the important job of dicking with Ripley, helping to differentiate between the guys doing the crappier work, and for less money than everyone else, and the bridge crew, like her. It's not animosity, but it is a subtle, we can't really trust those jerks upstairs who think they're better than us kind of thing. These kinds of things help illustrate the nature of their relationships. This isn't any we're all a family kind of a ship. It's full of people out here doing their damn jobs and trying to tolerate the presence of 6 other people they've had to spend every frickin' moment with this whole mission. The film may be called Alien, but like Jaws, it is just as much, if not more so, about the people than about the creature. As the theme of characterization via bitching continues amongst the astronauts, they come across the crashed alien ship, and it goes all Cloverfield for a while as they try to investigate. As discussed in the making of video, H.R. Giger played a vital role in the film, with his work having biomechanical synthesis and sexually suggestive material. As you can see, H.R. Giger's clearly penile appearance on display in his that's H.R. Pufnstuf. Though actually it does kind of look like a penis with arms, doesn't he? The shape of the ship is inspired by some musical instrument that was in his Necronomicon, but it is either 2 penises coming off the body or a pair of legs with a vagina in the middle, depending on who you talk to. It's like those pictures that could be a face or a vase, depending on how you want to look at it, except it just happens to be made for people who see nothing but gonads wherever they look. Rest assured that every elongated object in this film has been called a penis, and every opening has been called a vagina by somebody somewhere. I love being a pretend film scholar. So passing through the vagina, we get to the dead pilot under the penis. He's been there so long, he's gotten hard, as in fossilized. This is a double entendre minefield. Meanwhile, Ripley's been working on translating the alien signal, and it looks like it's a warning.
I'm gonna go out after them.
What's the point? I mean, by the time it takes to get there, they'll know if it's a warning or not, yes?
I mean, once this thing has hauled their souls into the abyss and pulverized their bodies down to delicious proteins, they'll know to be careful. Like, for instance, not dropping down into the opening into this huge cavern full of eggs. Eggs which show signs of life inside. Well, nothing ominous about that. Let's take a closer look, right, Kane? Oh, that's super extra not ominous. Okay, Kane, stick your face right up to it. Then open your mouth wide and say, well, try not to be too shocked, but turns out it got him. The question I'm sure you're wondering is it a penis or a vagina? Well, trick question. It's a vagina with a penis coming out of it. This is why I stay away from any image site that is written entirely in Japanese. For some reason, Ripley's not too sure about letting the monster onto the ship.
Wait a minute. If we let it in, the ship could be infected. You know the quarantine procedure.
24 hours for decontamination.
It could die in 24 hours. Open the hatch.
Listen to me. If we break quarantine, we could all die.
Yeah, like that's going to happen. What a worrywart. But Ash, Mr. What's the point of warning them, lets them in anyway. And we reveal the facehugger in all its creepy goodness. Big hug, a kiss from me to you. Won't you spawn some horrors too? Part of the intended horror of the film was to tap into the general fear of, well, having a violation of your face. I suppose it's true enough, but speaking from my own experience, I saw this movie when I was 9 on HBO. I loved science fiction even then, and I was clever enough to find a way to watch it behind my parents' back. What scared the shit out of me wasn't any sexual imagery. It was nasty things doing horrible things to people. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. But then I suppose a vagina with a penis is probably always a vagina with a penis, so, don't listen to me. Well, obviously, they're going to need to get this thing off him. We can't have every movie be about something hideous on John Hurt's face. So Ash tries loosening one of the fingers, and the facehugger responds by tightening its grip on his throat. And no one has mafia collecting experience to just break its fingers. So it's time for a med scan to discover the phallic shape down Kane's throat, squirting something in there.
Almost sexual, isn't it, Smithers?
Well, Dallas has seen just about enough here and says to cut this thing off of Kane's face, despite Ash's objections. Yeah, you don't know anything about it. Big deal. Just make it with a fingerectomy, buddy. After all, what's the worst that can happen?